Bass is the backbone of all music, and in car audio, the presence of a subwoofer can transform your regular commute into a concert on wheels. Powered subwoofers are the perfect all-in-one solution for those looking for an elevated driving experience without having to shop for or install multiple components. What you get when you shop for a powered sub at Crutchfield, no matter which size you choose, is a well-crafted, self-contained subwoofer, box, and amplifier. They tend to be on the compact side, which means you also have the advantage of enjoying bass you can hide away in a discreet spot in your vehicle if you choose, but can also be assured that you'll be able to hear and feel it. As I always tell our customers, if you do nothing else to your factory audio system, adding a powered sub will greatly improve its overall sound quality. In this video, I'm going to tell you about our current customer favorites, their key features, and why they've consistently been awarded great reviews. So without further ado, here's our list of the best car-powered subwoofers for 2025. I'll start with one of our great partners and a very famous name in car audio, Rockford Fosgate. The Rockford Fosgate Punch P310 is a powered sub that's been in our lineup for quite some time now, as it is rugged, packed with features for precise sound, and provides great bass at a very palatable price point. The P310 comes equipped with a 10-inch woofer paired with a 300-watt RMS built-in Class D amplifier. It's a sealed enclosure which provides that iconic bass sound that's in the name, punch. The rugged industrial vinyl coating protects it wherever you choose to install it. The dimensions of the enclosure are approximately 8 3/4 inches deep at the base, 6 1/8 inches at the top, and 18 inches wide. While it doesn't fall under our compact category, you still have the advantage of a lower profile body that will fit in many trunks, hatch areas, or other unused space you may find. I mentioned precise sound. With the P310, you can use the low-pass crossover, phase switch, and bass boost to adjust the sound to work best in your vehicle. High and low-level inputs allow you to connect it to either a factory or aftermarket system, while the included remote knob allows you to adjust bass intensity from the driver's seat. If you choose to, you'll hear every bit of that 300 watts as you crank the knob. For installation, you will need a separate 8-gauge amplifier wiring kit, as well as some tools and maybe some Velcro tape or whatever you prefer to secure your sub to your selected spot. But a cool note on what Rockford Fosgate includes in the box, in addition to the remote bass knob I mentioned, basic wiring, brackets, fuses, etc., is also a removable power plug. The power plug allows you to, when needed, move the subwoofer in and out of your vehicle by simply unplugging the wiring harness from that plug. Just another convenience factor attributed to the powered subwoofer category, and another reason why the P310 made the list. Next, let's take a look at the Alpine PWE-S8, a considerably more compact profile powered sub with an 8-inch woofer and built-in 120-watt RMS Class D amplifier. The high excursion subwoofer is designed to get the absolute most out of the amp, which could certainly trick you into thinking there's more power built in than 120 watts. In considerable contrast to the first sub in the list, the S8 dimensions are approximately 13.4 inches wide, 3 inches high, and 9 inches deep. So it goes without saying that you're going to have a pretty easy time finding a spot for this little sub. That's not to say it's little in sound, but placement isn't important when considering a truly compact sub. With a smaller woofer, amp, and body like the S8 has, your ideal spot for it to live will be under either the driver or passenger seat. Why? Because if you were to stick it in the trunk or somewhere else in the back, you may find that the low end gets a little lost. But if it's under a front seat, you'll get that rich supplemental bass experience that a compact sub like this one is designed to provide. And you don't have to worry about whether or not this sub can stand up to what life on the road can bring. Its rugged cast metal enclosure is built to take the hard knocks of a tight installation while protecting your equipment. Like the P310 and the rest of the subwoofers I'm going to call out on this list, the P8 has the necessary inputs for connecting to a factory or aftermarket system. You also get a wired remote bass knob with this sub for easy output level control, and because it generates a smaller amount of power, you'll need to get just a 10-gauge amp kit for installation. Next up, the Kicker 51HS8. It's only slightly bigger than the Alpine PWE-S8 at about 15 inches wide, 3 inches high, and 9 inches deep, and its 150 watts RMS amplifier is pretty much an equivalent in terms of power. Though it be small, the 8-inch woofer can hit surprisingly low notes that'll really rock your ride. Similar also to the Alpine S8, you'll want to mount this sub under a front seat so you can optimally hear and feel your bass. I love that Kicker generously included a few key items. A remote control bass knob for adjusting the bass level easily to match your tunes, nylon straps with Velcro fasteners to mount the sub where you choose, the full wiring harness so you don't have to buy that separately, plus a quick disconnect harness with power and signal wiring that'll make the installation easier. The 51HS8 is compatible with the factory system as well as an aftermarket, but an important note on that, if you plan to add it to an aftermarket stereo, it does accept preamp level signals, but you'll need to connect the kicker wire to RCA adapter to the sub's 8-foot signal harness so you can plug it into your receiver's preamp outputs. That's a small but separate purchase. Giving more love to our friends at Kicker, let's look at the Kicker 51 PTR TP12 low-profile, down-firing, 500-watt powered enclosure with Comp RT 12-inch shallow mount subwoofer and passive radiator. This subwoofer sets itself apart in a couple of ways from the rest on the list. So how does a passive radiator work? In a nutshell, it reacts to the air pressure produced by the active sub and adds extra low-end thump without the noise of a ported enclosure. The sound produced ends up being similar to that of a larger sub box in a larger space. Pretty cool. Another standout element of the design of the Comp RT is that it's exceptionally tough. The injection molded polypropylene woofer cone is stiff enough to resist distortion when you're pushing the volume. Its rubber surround stands up to heavy use, while a specially designed backplate provides more excursion, which equals more bass, than other skinny subs. The Comp RT is certainly the most powerful in the list. The 500 watts RMS amplifier is a perfect match for the large woofer, providing the power to bring out the best in your tunes. The amp's controls include a low-pass crossover, phase switch, and bass boost, so you can dial in the bass to your liking. In the box, you get a wired bass remote knob like most of the others on this list, but because this sub produces the most wattage, you'll need to pick up a 4-gauge wiring kit for installation. Okay, let's move on to the JL Audio ACS 110 LG TW1 PowerWedge Plus. The crux of what you get in this one is in the name. Wedge it somewhere convenient in your truck or car and start enjoying the power the sub produces. Now, this is worth noting off the top. JL Audio is known for a more premium audiophile level sound, so don't just expect power with this sealed subwoofer, also expect finesse. The compact enclosure houses a built-in Class D amplifier that safely sends 400 watts RMS to the specially engineered, ultra-low impedance TW1 10-inch subwoofer. That means your bass is going to sound precise and really sing with the music. The design on this one is a perfect shallow depth rectangle. It's about 18.5 inches wide, 11 inches high, and 5.8 inches deep. As I mentioned, the word premium is often attributed to JL Audio gear. No exception here, as they've used their state-of-the-art automated woodworking equipment to fabricate the high-quality MDF enclosure with rugged automotive carpeting, a steel mesh grille, 5-way binding posts, and solid internal wiring. Cool note, the enclosure and subwoofer are built in the USA from global components to ensure that you get the bass that you expect from them. I also mentioned that shallow depth, a little over 5 inches, so it'll fit just about anywhere. You'll enjoy thick, low-frequency response from all your music with this capable enclosure in your vehicle. And like the Rockford Fosgate sub, you can easily remove the power connector from this one, so you can pull it in and out of your vehicle when you need a little extra space. For installation of the PowerWedge Plus, you'll need to buy an 8-gauge amp wiring kit separately, and when it comes to adjusting the bass level as you're driving down the road, JL Audio offers their optional RBC1 wired remote bass control as a separate purchase. Finally, we have the JBL BassPro Nano, one of our smallest powered subwoofers ever. It comes in at only 10 inches by 8 inches by 3 inches and packs a 100 watts RMS amplifier and a 6x8 woofer in this tiny enclosure. Sure, you'll get more bass out of a larger sub with more power, but that just isn't always an option, and JBL has hit the nail on the head with this design. The enclosure is die-cast anodized aluminum, and it has a metal grille protecting the speaker, so it should hold up well no matter where you tuck it away in your car. It has both speaker level and line level inputs, a quick disconnect harness if you need to remove this sub to free up even more space, an included remote level control, adjustable bass boost, a low pass crossover from 50 to 150 Hz, a phase switch, and an auto turn on. To power the BassPro Nano, you'll need to purchase a separate 10-gauge amplifier wiring kit, which you'll connect to that quick disconnect harness. I know I said the BassPro Nano was our final pick, but its close relative, the JBL BassPro Hub, deserves an honorable mention. It was created in the same spirit of adding bass in vehicles that don't have room for more traditional subwoofer form factors. The BassPro Hub is actually designed to mount to the hub of a spare tire, typically found under the floor liner of your trunk or hatch. This is completely unused space in a lot of vehicles. It features an 11-inch woofer, a 200-watt RMS amplifier, a quick disconnect harness for signal and power, and an included wired remote control. This control is a bit unique because the bass boost, variable low-pass crossover, and phase switch are on the controller rather than on the sub enclosure for easier access once installed. And of course, the quick disconnect harness is critical on the BassPro Hub because JBL knows if you're in a situation where you need to get your spare tire, the last thing you'll want to deal with is removing a bunch of individual wire connections. Speaking of, you'll need to purchase a separate 10-gauge amplifier wiring kit with this powered sub also. So I hope this video helps you choose the right powered sub for your needs. For some more opinions, check out all of the customer reviews on Crutchfield.com for these best-selling powered subwoofers. And if you're considering any one of these, don't forget that we offer free tech support for the life of any gear you buy from us, which means that you'll have an expert ready to help starting from installation day to years and many miles down the road. Please reach out to us if you have any questions about how a powered sub can enhance your driving experience and what you'll need for a successful installation. Thank you for watching this video, and we hope to hear from you soon.